Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binaries of all ages, welcome to How to Make a Literal Cat in your favorite RPG. I hope you're not here to learn how to do character creation the right way, because this is the Cat Creation Podcast. I am one of your hosts. My name is Joel.
And I am the other one of your hosts. My name is Avalon.
Hello, Avalon.
Hello, Joel. How you doing today?
Oh, I don't know, man. I've been pranked so many times, mostly by my computer that I'm trying to set up right now.
Your computer is pranking you?
Yeah, it keeps doing these funny things like, not working until I install drivers, or stopping transferring files from my other computer and just trying to re-download them off the web instead, or, stuff like that. Just little funny pranks that it thinks is funny as I'm trying to set up a new computer.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. I am trying to set up a computer on April 1st, so this is on me, but...
You picked the worst day possible. Literally any other day of the year would have been fine.
Yeah. Though I don't know. This one got started a little early, because over the weekend it was like, I'm gonna trick you into thinking I'm stuck in an infinite boot loop, but I'm not. I just need to get to the home screen so I can download another Windows update.
That's awesome.
Well, it wasn't awesome when I thought it was in an infinite boot loop, but so far all I had done was install drivers so it can connect to the internet, so it wasn't like a big loss if I had to restart over, but...
That's fair. After we had gone through all the setup for my new PC, I tried to overclock the RAM.
Right away?
Yeah, after installing Windows and stuff and going through that, and then it just wouldn't boot, and so we sat there for 30 minutes trying to figure out what was wrong.
I don't think I'm going to be overclocking my PC. It's going to be hard enough to keep it cool as is.
That is totally fair. Me, on the other hand, I said, F it. I have 12 fans in this thing. Yeah.
Mine only has 6, but they're all really big.
Yeah, I'm give me all the power.
That thing is cold, though. I'm surprised. I go out there and touch the case sometime, and it is just straight up cold to the touch. Those fans are working. They're loud, but they work.
Yeah.
They're not too loud, actually. They could be worse.
It could always be worse. That's what they tell me.
Yeah. They're actually quieter than my old computer when it first turns on.
I know. I don't get the people that are like, oh, man, your computer hums. Can't believe you did that to yourself. It's my computer is silent.
I mean, I would have liked it if it was a little bit quieter, but it's quieter than I had any right to expect it to be, considering how much power is going to those fans.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, though. I like it when a computer hums, because then I'm like, yeah, it's it's thinking. That's how it does it. Do you, too, go, when you think? Because I do.
I don't know what noise I make when I think. Apparently none, because I was thinking about it just now, and there's nothing showing on my audio recording.
Just pure silence.
Exactly.
When I think I actually go into my brain like Jimmy Neutron does. Anyways, yes, we are here not to talk about Jimmy Neutron. We're here to make a cat in an RPG.
Yeah, and the RPG is not about Jimmy Neutron. I don't think there's a Jimmy Neutron tabletop RPG. As cool as that would be.
Yeah, I doubt it. But what is the RPG about that we're looking at?
Well, it's kind of like Jimmy Neutron, in that it's about a boy wonder. Mm-hmm. It's Dune.
Okay. Dune, now, is this Dune Part 1 or Dune Part 2?
It's Dune Adventures in the Imperium.
Mm.
It's our own little side stories.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I do not know much about Dune. All I know is that they got that twink up there on stage shouting how he's the Duke of Arachnids or something like that.
That's exactly what they say.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Dune Part 2 yet. I don't know if that's actually what they say.
I don't know. I heard it on TikTok.
I should probably watch Dune Part 2, except I already canceled my HBO Max subscription, so I'm gonna have to, rent it or something.
Can you still rent video? Well, online, I think you can.
Yeah, I'll just do it through, Google or something. I don't know.
No family videos anymore, man. What happened to this world?
I don't know. My local family video closed down a while ago. Now there's just a Little Caesars over there chilling by itself, with no video rental service next to it.
Yeah.
That's not a good environment for a Little Caesars.
Dude, the one in my hometown got turned into a Little Caesars / Dollar General.
Okay, that's actually very fitting. That's a perfect environment for a Little Caesars. But no, back when Blockbuster closed, we had the family video that was going strong, and then right next door moved in a Little Caesars.
I mean, that is like the perfect place for a Little Caesars to be, though, because you go rent a movie and think, man, I'm about to go watch a movie. You know what? It sounds good to do while watching a movie? Eat some pizza.
What's that right next door? $5 hot and ready.
Oh my gosh. This is the greatest deal of a lifetime. Funny enough, towards the end of Family Video, getting the pizza probably cost less than renting the movie.
Oh, yeah. Buying the movie probably cost less than renting the movie near the end of Family Video.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they all went out of business.
No, they went out of business because they were getting so little business, they had to raise prices that high.
Yeah. Terrible cycle. Anyways, we're off track again already. Yes, we're looking at Dune.
Which you cannot rent at Family Video.
You cannot rent this one at Family Video. But you can listen to us make a cat in it once we go over our rules for the game.
Yeah.
/ the podcast.
You're talking about the cat creation rules. Okay, I understand now. All right. So yeah, cat creation rules. We have these rules that our show must follow to make sure that we stay on target, on brand, and on cat. Rule number 1 is, we accept no cop-outs. We're making a cat, the exact animal that comes to mind when I say the word. No anthropomorphic races, no people turned into cats, no lions, no tigers, no other cop-outs you can imagine. I don't know if there's a, thing in Dune that would work as a cop-out alternative for a cat.
I have no idea. As I said, I've never seen Dune, so...
All I know is that, most of the movie takes place on a planet that's made out of hallucinogenic rocket fuel.
Is that the spice?
Yeah, it's your standard, drug / rocket fuel sand.
Yeah, everybody's got that, surely.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Rule number 2 is we cannot use homebrew / house rules. If the rules of the rule book do not explicitly allow something to happen, we count it as a rule broken.
Rule number 3 is if the game includes stats for a literal cat, those must be used or adapted to the game's character sheet. Again, I don't think that's a thing here.
I just Googled a second ago, Dune cat. Basically nothing came up.
I'm amazed that, things related to the book / movie Dune did pop up when I Googled that, because that could easily have been, some product of the Caterpillar Corporation that's meant for traversing dunes.
Yeah, they could make those. Except they would probably make something to alter dunes and not just traverse them. But they could do both,
Yeah.
I can traverse a dune on my feet, They ain't special.
I would prefer a dune buggy, if we're being honest.
So true, actually.
Anyway.
No dune buggies here.
And no dune cats.
Yeah, no dune cats until we make one. After rule number 4, rule number 4 is the character, class, background, playbook, job, what have you, must exist in the game's core rules or as part of an official expansion. We cannot use homebrew classes. They don't exist.
Yep, no homebrew here. It's not real. It can't hurt you. Rule number 5. The cat can learn any skill available to its class, even if it's not something a cat could normally be trained to do.
Rule number 6 is, if a tool would be physically impossible for a literal cat to use, even if comically downsized for them, they cannot use it. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. A cat cannot drive a dune buggy.
No, I don't think they could. I don't even think they can drive whatever the, weird dragonfly helicopter... Am I thinking of the right movie?
Dragonfly helicopter?
I don't know. It looks something like that. I might be thinking of the wrong movie. I might have to rewatch the first Dune as well.
No, I think you're right. It's called a ornithopter, but it does look like a dragonfly. It's pretty sick.
Oh, neat. Maybe I don't need to rewatch the first one.
Oh, they're called ornithopters, or, more commonly, thopters.
I don't think anyone calls them that.
Get to the thopter, dude. Where's that scene in Dune, huh? Is that going to be in Dune 3?
I don't know, man. All right, you just read Rule 6, right?
Correct.
All right, rule number 7. If a character sheet has a section that is meant to be filled out in collaboration with the whole table, we leave it blank so potential players can make it fit the group they're playing with. In the case of this game, that means that roughly half the character creation we can't do.
Yes, because one of the goals is that all the PCs are from the same house, in which you have to make a house of your own, essentially.
Yeah, so the party has to make the house together.
Yes, so we are leaving that on the table.
Yep.
But we do that out of love, not out of the not want to do it.
Yeah. hopefully, we still leave you with enough of a completed character that you could just insert it into your house and basically be done and ready to go.
That is the goal. And finally, a goal for us resides in rule number 8, which is we have to keep track of every rule that we break.
There will probably be a few here.
Yeah.
Like we've established, I don't think there's actually cats in Dune.
Yeah, like I said, looked up Dune cat, I saw like nothing.
Yeah, I saw memes.
Good old cat memes. They never get old.
Exactly. What page are you on?
I am on page 109.
Wow, it starts that low on the... Looks like there's a lot that we could read before that, but let's start here. Hope for the best. So, character creation summary. Step 1, concept. Consider your character idea. Select a faction template if applicable, and record its trait if you do. I will be amazed if there is a faction template that fits our character concepts.
Yeah, doubt it. Let's see. Step 2, archetype. Choose or adapt an archetype from the list. Record its trait. There's 8? Yeah, 8 steps in total.
Yeah, and one of those steps is assets. Remember, you're supposed to be a great asset to the company.
I'm always a great asset to the company. Any company.
Not just the Lethal Company?
Correct.
I gotta play that game one of these days. I still haven't had a crew to play with.
I will gladly play it with you. That game is so fun.
Awesome. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. First step in creating a player character is to decide what general sort of character to create. You may want to look through the archetypes described later in this chapter from one of the concepts mentioned in the introduction, or something else inspired by the universe of Dune, which we clearly know very well based on how we've talked about it so far.
Oh yeah, we know everything there is to know about Dune.
Yeah, it's helpful to keep this concept relatively vague at this stage. Well, got bad news for you there, because our concept includes the words literal cat.
Mm-hmm. Which is pretty rock solid definition, I feel like.
Yeah. Let's look at the factions though, right? Because...
Yeah. They said later in... Oh, is it just these?
I think it's just these. So we've got Bene Gesserit. I don't think we're a member of the secret society thing.
Probably not. A freeman. Exceptionally rare outside Arrakis. Oh, is that what he says? Arrakis, not arachnids?
Probably.
I am Paul something Vertrades, Duke of Arrakis. Something like that.
Mentat school are considered an essential asset to any house. Human computers. Probably not.
Spacing guild agent. While the elusive navigators and steersmen are never seen outside the guild, the faction has agents across the universe. The guild agents are a point of contact for noble houses wishing to travel or trade.
Doesn't seem like a good fit.
You know.
Sook doctor. While there are many doctors and healers, these are considered the best. They cost a fortune. Anything they can't cure simply cannot be cured. So they're good at what they do.
Dang.
But they're expensive. I don't think we fit with a faction.
I don't think so either. So I'll leave that blank.
Alright, so there's apparently more archetypes later in the chapter, is what it says. So that's literally step 2.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we're about to get to that. So yeah, our character concept, by the way, literal cat, obs.
Yep.
Step 2, archetype. Next, select a general archetype for the character. These archetypes are designed to be relatively broad and cover a range of concepts, and it shouldn't be difficult to find an archetype that fits the concept you devised during step 1. But if you still can't find something that fits, either change the theme of an archetype that has the right options, or create a new archetype that matches what you're looking for. In both cases, make sure the Game Master approves your choices.
I don't see eunuch or jester as an option, so I don't think we can go with that.
Dang. Let's see. We have analyst, athlete, commander, courtier, duelist, empath, envoy, herald, infiltrator, messenger, protector, scholar, scout, sergeant, smuggler, spy, steward, strategist, tactician, and warrior.
I think athlete or empath could work. Or scout.
Ooh, scout would be a good one.
Yeah, but just imagine being able to say, oh, he's an empath.
I love that.
It is funny. But also, what's the primary skill is understand, secondary skill communicate. So I don't know how well we communicate as a cat.
That's a good question. I'd have to see.
Athlete, I mean, it would be our probably second or third most disciplined cat yet, if that's secondary skill. But scouts, move and understand might be, sound pretty good.
Yes. We do have some little snippets underneath. So scouts are considered adepts. Working alongside military units and exploratory groups, scouts take on the perilous task of venturing ahead of their comrades to discover what lays ahead. Scouts need to be able to move quickly through unknown and potentially hostile territory undetected, gather information efficiently, and return to tell the tale. This is understandably a dangerous and difficult task, and good scouts are valuable.
Possibly then.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
We can take a look at empath, though, real quick, since that was one that stuck out to you. The ability to detect truth and falsehood when others speak is a valuable and powerful one, and one highly sought after. Yeah, this is an academic archetype.
I think scout might be the better way to go.
I think so, too.
Because this cat's either going to be scouting terrain or vibe checking people, and I know which one's going to be more fun to play.
I don't know, vibe checking can be pretty good.
True.
How do we denote a primary or secondary skill?
Good question.
Our primary skill is move. It's under skill focuses. Yeah, so we have move. So I think I'm just going to put like an I there for primary.
Okay, and then our secondary is understand.
And you don't seem to understand.
Have you even played Persona 5 Royal yet?
I've never touched a Persona game. The only thing I know is I think what Joker looks like because I've played Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He's Persona character, right? Is he Persona 5?
Yeah, that's Persona 5.
Okay.
You know, the funny thing is, his voice actor in Persona 5 is the announcer in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
What?
Yeah.
That's so whack.
So they're like, hey, we're gonna add this character Joker from Persona 5 to the game. Cool, let's get his voice actor on the line.
Oh, wait. He's here in the studio already. Let's see. Our focuses are endurance and strength.
So that must be what goes in these boxes here, to the right of the icon here.
Yes, but which box do they go in?
The big one, with the writing room.
Well, yeah, but like, are they attached to specific skills?
Oh, I see what you mean. Good question.
Okay, well, how about this? I will list them just in our primary skill.
Sounds good.
And we can move them later.
Yeah, if they explain what to do with them, we'll put them where they're supposed to go.
Alright, cool. So, one of our talent, it says talents, but it only lists one. Our talent is putting theory into practice. We don't really have a description for that.
No.
That probably comes later. Our drives. The dangerous vocation of a scout is one undertaken by those driven by duty, as few would willingly undertake their missions without a good reason. Others see themselves as explorers, seeking to discover the new truths about the universe as they venture into the unknown.
Okay, so do we think this cat is more driven by truth or duty?
I want to say by duty. Or wait, no. Probably by truth.
Okay, so let's mark that one, and I'm really just going on faith here that it's going to tell us exactly what to do with this information later. Because it's telling us, like, our drive options are truth or duty, basically.
I see. I'll put a little 1 in truth.
Sounds good for now.
Okay, that is the archetype.
Next step is skills, so it'll tell us what to do with those next.
Oh, for the focuses, it says the character receives 2 focuses for their primary or secondary skill. Suggestions for these are provided, but you may choose your own if you desire.
Oh, so we don't necessarily have to go with the... Okay.
Yeah.
I see how it works now.
And I'm assuming endurance and stealth are both focuses for move.
Yeah, but we could... If I'm reading this right, we could have 2 focuses. We have 2 focuses. We could put both of them on the primary, both of them on the secondary, or 1 on each.
I believe so. They don't have to be endurance and stealth. If we wanted to, we could go with stealth and then pick something else for, like, understand.
Yeah. I wonder if it would make sense for understand. Like, I like stealth for a focus for move.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's gonna, like, tell us more about focuses later and there's still, like, a specific thing that we have to do, right?
I think it does have a focus section.
Alright. I think for what we need to look out for is if there is a focus that gives us, like, you know, trust your nose or, like, the ability to use secondary senses.
For understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're not there yet. Man, Evelyn, sometimes it feels like we're wading through a desert trying to get these episodes done.
Yeah, just falling through endless grains of sand.
Yeah, just like in the spice mines, trying to get the spiciest version of the episode out that we can.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, spiciness has like another connotation in terms. Never mind.
Yeah. Not the hottest. The best version that we can get out.
Man, I'm trying to do a Dune theme, but I don't know enough about Dune for that.
it's all fun and games here on Arrakis. That's the planet, right? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. They'll learn more about Dune as the episode goes on, but right now we're in the mid-roll.
Will they?
It's a different space.
Yeah, sort of.
Kind of.
Anyway, this is not about Dune or the cat that we're putting in Dune. This is about the show. You're here to learn about the show right now, the one that you're currently listening to. If you already know about the show, I don't know, skip 5 minutes ahead and you can get back to the episode. Probably.
Maybe. Depends on the tangents.
Yeah, hopefully there won't be many of those.
So let's start off without a tangent and say that if you don't really know about the show and you want to know more about the show, you can go to our webpage over at badgertrove.com/literalcatpod.
Yeah, that's a good website. I made it myself.
It's true.
We also have social media accounts on most of the social media sites. We've got Tumblr, Blue Sky, YouTube, I guess.
Yep.
Actually, that's it. Now, technically, there's a TikTok, but we don't talk about that. Or we do talk about it, I just don't post to it.
Just how most people treat their TikTok.
Exactly. See, you understand.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all Literal Cat Pod. Follow us on social media.
Yeah. If you already follow us and you know about the show and you are an enjoyer of the show, feel free to rate and review us on your favorite podcasting app.
Yeah, and seriously, guys, just leaving a basic rating will do more for us than you could possibly imagine.
Yes.
If you don't use one of these apps that, has a review system, then just go onto Apple Podcasts or Good Pods or something like that, Spotify Podcasts, and just hit the review button. 5 stars preferably. Every single rating will increase our odds of being included in the recommendation algorithm of that service.
Yeah, it helps a lot. We love seeing it. So just go tap that 5 stars button and we will do a little jig in the comfort of our own homes.
Yeah, where you can't see it.
Yeah, but you'll know. You'll feel it in your heart.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you would like to challenge us to make a specific type of cat, want to hear us do a specific type of game, want to be on the show or something, I don't know, reach out to us at literalcatpod@gmail.com. Also, you can use that email address to send us pictures of your cats. In fact, you should really do that. You know what? Do it right now. Stop whatever you're doing, open your email, open your camera reel, and pull one of the many cat pictures you have on it, and just send it to us.
Yeah.
Right now. Don't think, I'll do it later. No, you'll forget. Do it right now.
Mm-hmm. No subject line, no content, just the picture.
Yeah, we'll be here for you when you get back.
Yep. Thank you for unpausing. All right, so... Is there anything else we should mention about the show?
No, that's about it. Avalon, tell them where to follow you.
You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky, and Tumblr at Avalon Alchemist. I only really post on Blue Sky. I've been occasionally posting some art whips over there and then random thoughts of the day. But that's where you can catch me and find out, what I'm up to. Joel, where can they find you online?
They can find me at OmamerVT on Blue Sky, Twitch, or Tumblr, or TikTok, or YouTube. Actually, you should follow the YouTube account. I've got 30 videos up there and only 25 subscribers.
Yeah, you should absolutely check out the YouTube. Joel posted a banger deliver at all costs video.
Yeah, it's a pretty good video, guys, if I do say so myself. Little longer than I would have liked, but I liked all the bits, so I kept them.
Yep, they were good bits.
Anyway, I think that's it.
Alrighty, sounds good. Well, get back to us discussing the cat in the world of Arrakis.
We're on to step 3, which is skills. We've probably already done most of the work, but let's see if it gives us any information on how to do this. How to actually put this properly on the character sheet.
Gotcha.
Each character in Dune, Adventures in the Imperium, has 5 skills as described in the previous chapter. Battle, communicate, discipline, move, and understand. These cover the character's broad aptitudes and capabilities, forming a major part of the skill tests the character attempts during play. All players have each skill rated between 4 and 8. At this stage in character creation, you have the following skill ratings. The primary skill for your listed archetypes is rated at 6. The secondary is rated at 5, and the others are rated at 4. So that's what that's for.
Gotcha.
I think just put it as a number because we have points to invest in this as well.
Oh, alright. I was gonna stick with the Roman numerals.
I mean, if you want to be fancy, but it'll be a lot of going back and changing things.
Yeah. The rest are 4, right?
Yep. Everything's 4 until we set it to whatever we want.
Sweet. Alright. Once you've done this, you may increase any skills you wish. You have 5 points, which you may distribute as you see fit between your skills. No skill may be increased above 8 in this way.
So 8 is, I don't know if that's the maximum for play or just the maximum for character creation, but we can't go above that.
I think it sounds like the maximum for character creation.
Yeah, I think so too. But you know what? If I'm wrong, then it's still not our problem unless we actually get to play this character later.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think we should boost understanding by at least 2 points.
I agree. It is definitely going to be needed. So we can bump that up to 7. Should we put move up to 7 as well?
We could. That'd be 3 of our points.
Yeah.
Or do you want to put it all the way up to 8? I don't think we're going to be using very much of battle and communicate. Maybe discipline?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm not sure what discipline does.
Yeah, I guess that's a thing to look up, isn't it? There may have been a descriptor of the moves up here. Skills. Battle, communicate. Discipline. Discipline describes a character's ability to influence and control their own mind and body, overruling instincts and autonomic functions, as well as their ability to exert direct influence over others through presence, force of will, and power of authority. But we definitely have a presence that would make people want to do what we want, being a cat.
Mm-hmm. So you thinking discipline?
Okay, wait. Communicate might also be good. Use communicate when you attempt to persuade or deceive others, when you need to convey meaning through implication and subtle means, when you need to understand what others are truly trying to say, and when you need to detect attempts by others to use these methods.
Okay. Yep. I think communicate is the one.
Yeah, let's put our point in communicate instead.
Alright.
Because I think even if we can't convey very well, we can pick up pretty well, probably.
Oh, for sure. So that is all of our points.
Yep.
Step 4, focuses. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. A starting player character has 4 focuses, representing areas of expertise and specialization beyond their broad skills. These focuses will each be associated with a single skill, which represents the skill which will use that focus most often. But any focus can be used with any skill if it applies appropriately to the action in question.
Oh, okay. So the ones that it recommended could be used for any of the abilities then, not just the ones that the primary or secondary.
Yes. Okay. It also gives us a little more information on the 2 focuses provided. It says that one is typically for your first skill, other one is typically for your second skill, but we are allowed to choose whichever one we want.
Yeah, and technically we don't have to use either.
Yeah.
But we have to have a focus associated with our primary and secondary skill, it seems like.
Yes.
So focuses were listed somewhere.
Starting on page 103.
103, thank you.
So we'll need an understand focus. We have, let's see, advanced technology, botany, chome bureaucracy, cultural studies, danger sense, knowing when a situation feels wrong.
Oh, that'd be good.
Etiquette, knowing the rules of a good society.
Maybe not.
We can choose philosophy. Smuggling, perhaps.
Could be interesting.
Traps. Constructing and avoiding traps. Oh, okay.
You're looking at understand focuses right now, right?
Correct. I think danger sense is probably the best one here, right?
Oh, yeah. I think so, too.
Okay.
I'm also looking at communication focuses, and I think either charm or inspiration, maybe?
Charm or inspiration.
Charm is befriending others and appearing trustworthy. Inspiration is using a spark or artistic ability to create... Oh, never mind.
Oh.
I thought that was...
Oh, innuendo implies something without saying it.
Oh, that would be good for a cat.
For sure.
Although it's still... You are supposed to be speaking, it's just... Anyone who knows will read between the lines.
Yeah, that's fair. We could have linguistics be our focus. Languages and the study of the nature of language.
I don't know. I think that would be a waste of it.
Yeah, kind of. That just feels like not incredible.
Maybe persuasion, getting someone to agree to a particular action.
Persuasion is a very good one, because you could probably use that with other stuff, too, very easily.
Yeah, but I still think charm might be the thing to do, right? Befriend others, appear trustworthy.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. Charm is basically the same thing as persuasion. You can use charm to persuade people.
Sort of, but persuade is just getting someone to go along with your idea. Charm is making them like you.
True. Big difference there.
Yeah, someone doesn't have to like you to agree to help you.
Yeah.
And we get one more.
Yes. Let's see. For battle focus, I'm looking at evasive action as one.
Oh, that would be good.
That's really the only one that sticks out to me.
I mean, there's sneak attacks, but we're very small, so that would still be very unthreatening.
Yeah.
But what about discipline?
What about discipline?
Infiltration's an option.
Ooh.
Observe is an option.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like either one of those would probably be, like, a better choice than a combat focus.
Yeah. I think...
I mean, I know we already have stealth.
True. So I think observe might be our better option here.
Yeah, because that would let us kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, basically. We can infiltrate with stealth and we can observe with observe.
Yeah.
All right.
So there we go.
Those are our 4 focuses.
Now on to step 5, talent. A starting character has 3 talents, representing special abilities, advanced techniques, and other significant benefits. These are abilities which define a character, helping them to stand out and feel special.
Nice. Your chosen archetype will provide a single talent, and it will suggest several options which are appropriately thematic for that archetype. You may choose a different talent if you wish, but at least one of your talents should relate to your chosen archetype in some way.
And what's the one it told us about?
The one we have is putting theory into practice.
Alright. I'm assuming that there's somewhere else, like it had before, where there was more information on talents.
Page 126.
Ah, I see it. It was further down.
There we go. Let me take a look at what ours says. There's a lot of these here. Putting theory into practice. You've learned how to quickly turn newfound knowledge into practical advantage. Once per scene, when you obtain information, you may create a trait for free, which must represent an advantage, opportunity, or weakness you've identified with the information you've received.
Oh, that's good.
I was about to say, yeah, that sounds really good.
Yeah, our ability to just, like, identify useful information in a scene and think on our feet with it. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, we get to choose 2 more talents.
Ooh, there's one here called, on the same page, Passive Scrutiny. You are quick to notice details which may be important later. When you enter a scene, you may ask one question of the game master as if you'd spent momentum to obtain information.
Ooh, yeah, because that combos with putting theory into practice.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if that stacks, or if, like, you can use that back to back like that, but, like, if you can just use your knowledge that you gained in order to create a new advantage for yourself.
Sounds like a good use of a skill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm going back up to the top now. I haven't looked at most of these.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so the thing that I was talking about before with inspiration, that's the bolster talent.
Okay.
It's basically like giving someone inspiration to let them try again.
Oh, okay.
At cost to yourself, obviously, but...
Naturally.
Let's see what else we got before we just decide on that, though.
Constantly watching seems interesting. Whenever you attempt a skill test to detect danger or hidden enemies, you reduce the difficulty by 2 to a minimum of 0. And then when an enemy chooses to keep the initiative, you can increase the cost to do so by 2.
Also really good.
Mm-hmm.
Find trouble. You know where to find the criminal element wherever you go.
Cats and their affinity for crime. It all comes back.
It's right there.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let's keep looking.
Yeah, make haste. When you attempt a move test, you may choose to suffer 1 additional complication in exchange for scoring 1 automatic success on the test. Huh, so we could be fast.
Ooh, fast. I like that.
Nimble, also same line of thinking. When attempting a move test to move over, around, or through difficult terrain, you may reduce the difficulty of the test by 2.
Nice.
If there's a test that's difficulty is only 2, and you reduce the difficulty to 0, you may move around without rolling, as if there was no difficult terrain.
Dang.
And then we're back to the page we started looking at. Is there anything on the next page, though? Most of these are specific to, like, factions, it looks like.
Yeah, subtle step could be good. It helps with our...
With our stealth, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it.
That is the end of it.
A lot of good options.
Yeah. I think bolster could be fun.
Yeah, bolster would give us kind of a support role, maybe a purpose for being there that's
not just to look at the start of the mission and then not contribute anything.
Yeah, exactly. Which I feel is like an easy pitfall to fall into if you're trying to not kill the cat.
Yeah. I'm down for putting bolster.
Okay.
Let's do it. Unless you have strong feelings about another one.
Nope. The only other options really are to, like, make us better at navigating difficult terrain or make us faster.
True.
Which would also be helpful, but that's helpful for the primary thing, and we'd already put so many skills in that. That's basically what all of our talents were focused on, is moving and understanding. Or basically just understanding, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Which is fine, because, like, move is the highest stat, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. And, you know, if you're good at something, you want to be really good at stuff.
Yeah, danger sense, or just understanding in general, we're also really good at that, like, almost as good as we can be. but it's not our best thing, right? I think we did good.
I think we got that. Once you've selected that first talent, you may select 2 other talents. These talents may be selected freely through the though individual talents may have certain restrictions on who may take them. Oh, it actually says down here the list of talents begins on page 127.
Oh, well, if only we knew how to read.
Yeah, well, it's separated by this graph.
Yeah, there's a table there, and the funny thing is the table is part of the next step, but it's put in line with step 5.
Yeah, it is literally segmenting step 5 in half.
Kind of a weird choice.
Yeah, I think they should have moved it to the bottom of that section instead of smack dab in the middle of the 4th paragraph.
Yeah. But anyway, I think we're on to step 6, drives and drive statements. Until now, this is focused on what does the character do. This is what do they believe. Everyone has 5 drives: duty, faith, justice, power, and truth, which are described in the previous chapter. And that was the thing that we were talking about where, like, it said we had that was the thing where it gave us all the flavor text.
Yeah, about duty and truth.
Yeah. So we actually are supposed to list these by importance, it looks like.
Yes. 8 being the most important, and 4 representing something that the character cares little about.
I think if we want to say that our cat cares the most about truth, that's our 8. And then probably duty would be our 7.
Faith, justice, or power. I feel like our cat probably does not care much about faith.
Yeah, probably cares very little about faith or power. So I think maybe justice is our 3rd. That feels wrong, but it feels better than the other 2.
Yeah.
It's a cat, guys.
Do cats have a strong sense of justice?
They have a strong sense of when they've been wronged.
You know what? That's good enough for me. We have, in descending order, truth at 8, duty at 7, justice at 6, power at 5, and faith at 4.
Yep.
And then we have to make statements for these, I believe. Once you define the order of your character's drives, you'll need to define some drive statements. A statement for each of the 3 most important drives. Drive statements are described in more detail on page 105 and 106. Drive statements should be easy to understand so that you, the game master, can both understand when they're helpful, or when they're a hindrance, or when they don't apply at all.
And we only have to do them for the top 3, right?
Yes. You'll want to have at least one drive statement that possesses a problem for your character, because that's how you gain more determination. Similarly, you'll want at least one drive statement that is helpful. Drive statements do not have to be positive about the drive they're attached to. Someone with a strong drive in truth doesn't have to be honest, and someone who believes strongly in faith may believe that faith and religion are dangerous or harmful. Your drive statements can and should change over time. Okay, so this is just like a starting out thing.
Yeah. I feel like I already said the thing for justice, right? It's like, I know when I've been wrong.
Yeah. Do you want that to be our drive statement?
I feel like that it's sort of fitting.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think we should put a little more effort into, like, truth and duty, but...
Yeah. So we have some example statements up here. Example duty statements are, people are the true strength of a great house. I serve at the pleasure of the house. Humans live best when each has their place. Acceptance of place is the death of freedom. Those above offer duty to those below. I know my responsibilities. Duty is a sharp blade. What must be done must be done.
I think something along the lines of, like...
Maybe, like, I care for those who have cared for me. Like, this cat has a duty to those around them that have, like, raised them.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily give it any loyalty to the house, right?
True.
Just to their crew.
Well, it could also give loyalty to the house because their crew is from the same house.
Yes, yeah. Like, I guess what I'm thinking is, like, should it be more focused? It's like, they took care of me, now I must take care of them. Because that gives us, like, a problem to worry about, right?
Yeah, that's puts a little more stress on it by saying, like, I feel and have an obligation to these people.
Yeah, they took care of me when I needed it, now I must return the favor. Yeah, but basically just turning it into a sense of obligation to these people, right?
Definitely works.
And now for truth.
Good old truth. What is the truth? Respect for the truth comes close to being the basis for all morality. I decide what is true. I seek to uncover the secrets of the universe. If I don't know it, it is irrelevant. The purpose of the argument is to change the nature of truth. What one wishes were true is seldom so. You will know me by my deeds, and then the truth is the first casualty of war. I think, since we still technically need one that's like a detriment, or not as I don't know what the word they used was, but something that's a bit of a hindrance to our character.
I feel like the thing, like, I must take care of the people who took care of me, right? Or however that got phrased. That can be a detriment, right?
That can be a detriment. I could see that.
It's kind of a weak one, I'll give you that, but also, it's a cat.
True.
Their power is limited, so returning the favor is going to probably constantly stress them out.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so for truth...
One moment, I'm going back to the thing, which had the guidelines for it. It was down on page 121. One drive statement that poses a problem, because that's how you can gain more determination. You'll want at least one drive statement that's helpful, because that'll give you more opportunities to use a higher drive score. I feel like truth being our highest drive, and also probably the thing that ties best into our role as a scout, that should probably be our thing that, like, we get the most, like, benefit from, right?
Yeah. What if we did something like, I search for the truth because I know little, or something like that?
Oh, I've got one. Curiosity won't kill this cat.
I like it. Yeah. Very simple and easy to understand.
Yep. And I feel like it has a pretty obvious application. You get to use this when you are taking a risk to learn the truth, right?
Yeah, I think that works. Because they're finding out information can be dangerous, I'm sure, especially on the world of Dune.
Yeah, exactly.
So, heck yeah. Alright, those are our drives and drive statements.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of information on drives.
Yeah, it's an important thing for us to decide about our character. Like our biggest role-playing cues.
Yeah.
Assets is next, right? Yes.
Yes.
Represents the tools and resources available to a character, which they can use to achieve their goals. There's more on this in Chapter 7, Assets. Each asset is a special kind of trait which describes a tool, resource, or something else useful which a character possesses. A starting character should have 3 assets, one of which must be tangible.
Okay.
Alright, so, I guess let's go down to Chapter 7 then. All assets share a common structure that lets you see what they're useful for and how effective they are at a glance. Functionally, an asset works as a trait with the asset's name. The other details of an asset are there to provide extra context and differentiating between assets. Each describes a tool, resource, or something else useful which a character possesses.
Okay.
So they're used like traits to make a task possible when it otherwise would not be, to make a task easier, reducing difficulty, or to make a task harder for an opponent. So it says it'll have 3 elements.
Yeah, I believe those are the keywords.
It's the name and keywords, yeah. Some assets are tangible, representing physical things, and others are intangible, representing contacts, favors, the ability to call on friends, and similar or useful things, which are not literally physically present.
Mm-hmm. Okay. They have a huge list of assets. They have personal assets, warfare assets, espionage assets, intrigue assets. Dang, yeah, no wonder they needed a whole chapter for this.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking at some personal assets.
Ooh, glow globes might be good.
Glow globes?
Yeah, these are small devices. They use the Holtzman effect to hover near the user, providing illumination. So it's a little hovering orb that glows and flies near you. You don't have to, like, physically handle it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that could be a great asset for this cat.
Yeah.
Well, cats can see in the dark very well.
True, but there's probably more detail they could make out with a little bit of extra light.
Also true. Okay, I'm down to put it as our first asset.
Okay. As an asset, glow globes are used to illuminate areas of darkness as distractions, and possibly as a concealable explosive delivery system, because you can activate it on or off by just a simple touch.
Wild.
And the keywords are hovering and light.
So that is our personal asset. We can have more than one personal asset, right?
If you see something else that works, then yes.
I was looking at...
Oh, there's one that's just called intelligence.
Yeah, I think that asset is more of a, like, special ability type deal that you have.
Intelligence is talking about, like, field intelligence or military intelligence, not, like, smarts.
Yeah.
Which, again, as a scout, would make sense for us to have.
Absolutely. Yeah, keyword secret information. I'm down to put intelligence down.
I think it makes sense.
Oh, for sure. Last asset.
Oh, there's something called intrigue assets, like favors.
Oh.
This cat could have land rights. I don't know why it would, but technically it could.
It could.
Blackmail material.
Yeah, I was looking at that, like the stolen file.
Mm-hmm. Or a hostage.
You just have a hostage with you everywhere you go.
Yeah. Contacts.
Politician.
An ex-agent. Your mentor. Some ex-agent. Actually, I like that. I don't know.
Where do you see this at?
So under intrigue assets, there's one called contacts. And one of the options it shows is ex-agent. As long as the Lanzarad has worked to undermine each other, as long as the Padishah Emperor has watched the affairs of the houses with paranoid panic, there have been agents. They work to collect information to spy on the comings and goings of the houses, to influence the fate of worlds. Ex-agents inevitably know other former or even active agents, and can call on them now and again for advice, direction, etc. This is a former agent encountered and trusted in the past, able to be called on for a safe place to hide, or tips on the moves being made by the opponents.
I like that a lot. Just the idea of this cat conversing with, an ex-agent, obviously, but be like, yo, what's the scoop? What information you got for me?
Yeah, I like the idea. They have a retired mentor.
Yeah. Maybe that's how they got into the biz.
Exactly. And that has 3 keywords: experienced, intelligent, and wily.
All right. Okay. Those are our 3 assets.
Oh, we're on step 8 now, right?
Yep. Finishing touches. At this stage, your character is almost complete and needs only a few final elements and adjustments. This serves as the last chance to customize your character before you begin playing, and a chance to make a few decisions. So, select one additional trait for your character, reflecting on the character's reputation and how they are regarded by others. These do not necessarily have to be accurate descriptions of who the character is, only how others perceive them.
Is that like personality traits? I don't think we decided those yet.
I think it is personality traits.
Oh, there's more of them down here. So we've got personality, appearance, relationship. I think reputation is also... Oh, no, that's more on the chapter. Okay.
Yeah. Traits describe the notable and interesting details about the play's time, person. I guess we just make up our own trait.
I guess we can. Yeah, there's nothing else in the... I mean, there's traits for the houses, but I guess... Yeah, we can kind of just make up our own.
Yeah, so the example that they give, the traits say noble, honorable, and Bene Gesserit.
That's right, because the only other traits that we get assigned are like the faction traits.
Yeah. Okay. Which, we didn't choose a faction, so. What should our personality trait be?
Aloof, maybe?
Aloof. I don't know if aloof is the best term for this. I was thinking inquisitive, but that feels too, asking questions and not searching for them. Or searching for answers, rather.
Maybe something just like risk taker.
Risk taker?
Yeah.
Risk taker, inquisitive.
Like, people around them just kind of perceive that they are willing to engage in risky behavior all the time.
Okay.
Whether or not that's how they see it is another story, but, that's how other people see that.
Yeah. I think that that this cat could easily be described as a risk taker. And then we have, ambition. Each player character has an ambition, which guides their long-term actions. A character who takes steps to achieve their ambitions will become more capable, more influential, and generally more effective. Your character's ambition should be based on the highest rated drive, and your game master will work with you to define one for your character. So I think we technically already have that with our truth statement.
Potentially. I think maybe we should leave that blank.
Yeah, ambition does have its own box here, but maybe we should leave it blank because it is...
If you're supposed to work with your game master on it, then...
Yeah, sounds like something you probably want to leave.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's go to the next one then. Personal details. Step 1, name. So we gotta decide. We want a guy cat or a gal cat.
So I've just looked through the name list to see if one stood out to me. Unfortunately, there's a name on the male and female list that I like, so...
What are they?
Miles for male and Norma for girl. I don't know why, those feel like the names that would work.
I like the name Miles. I actually really like the name Miles because this cat is a scout, so they travel ahead of everybody.
Oh, yeah, you're onto something there.
I think it fits. You down for Miles?
I'm down for Miles. You know what they say, I would walk 500 miles, then I'd walk 500 more.
Just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles and wound up at your door. Right. Then we have surnames, usually by house for nobility.
Okay, let's leave that blank.
Yeah, we're not there. Personality, which we have kind of how others see us. Some questions to consider. Are they stoic or grim? Are they disciplined or orderly? Adventurous, wise, thoughtful, tired of routine, calm and circumspect? Even a few adjectives can help lock down the personality of a character.
So if you're stuck, try answering the following questions. Are you more of an introvert or an extrovert? I mean, we already kind of have a personality trait, right?
Yeah, we can add a couple to flesh out this cat some more, though.
Yeah, is there... I don't see where, like, because they were talking about other types of traits earlier, it seems like, and I don't know where we would put those.
I think it's literally anything that is traits. I think it's just personality traits.
Okay, I'll take it for now. I don't have a better explanation, so. What is the first thing that anyone notices about you? Tiny. What part of yourself do you rarely show to others?
I don't know. I like the idea of this cat being kind of reserved.
Yeah, me too. Like I said earlier, I thought that aloof might be a good descriptor for them. So reserved is good.
We can put aloof there too if we're just listing off different traits of this character. I'll write it down.
Yeah, I mean, reserved and aloof are kind of, they're right next to each other in the thesaurus, so.
Are they?
Well, aloof is like cold and distant, right? And reserved would be at least distant.
Oh, I guess so. I thought aloof was a synonym for like dumb.
No.
Or like not incredibly intelligent.
No, it's more like you're wary. You're not forthcoming.
Alright, cool. Well, I'll remove reserved then, because, yeah, they're about the same thing. Learn something new every day, huh?
Guess so. Let's see, what makes you angry? When was the last time you cried?
This morning, next question. Makes you angry. People underestimating me.
Oh, that's a good one. It plays in well with Risk Taker, too, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's enough of a personality.
Yeah. As everybody knows, you only really need 3 things to have a personality.
Exactly.
The rest of it fills itself in later.
Yeah, exactly. People will figure you out as they get to know you.
Yeah.
Alright, so, relationships. Is there anywhere to put anything about relationship? I feel like that's a thing that will be hard to answer without knowing our house.
Yeah, like, that, we could list stuff down, and then whoever plays this would be like, this doesn't make any sense for this character, or like for this house and the people that we're with.
Yeah, I feel like we leave relationships blank. Also, there's not really a place for it on the character sheet to begin with.
Yeah, so I think that's more of a mental note, like your own thing.
Yeah, this one's for you.
Alright.
That's it.
That is it. Oh my gosh. We've did it. That is a cat in Dune.
That's a cat.
The Dune
In
cat.
Dune. Alright. Well, everyone, meet Miles. Not that one. This one's not a fox, it's a cat. It still
Also,
scouts ahead, though.
Also not a Spider-Man.
Yes. This cat is not named Miles per hour or Miles Morales. It's just Miles.
Just Miles.
And whatever last name you come up with when you make your house.
Alright. Well,
All right.
I think this system was pretty easy to go through.
Yeah,
pretty
I think...
simple to understand, just a little jumping back and forth through character creation.
Which is fine, you know.
Yeah, I mean, most character creators have a lot of jumping back and forth, so that is not big,
Yeah, you know, the game has a lot of lore to it, so, like, that's just kind of a thing that happens when a world has a lot built into it. You just kind of end up with a lot you have to know to continue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how that is. That's fine. I think the only rule we broke is that we kind of had to make up our own creature, because cats aren't in Dune.
Yeah, so...
also, they definitely want us to be a human, so that's 2 rules. Introduced a new element to the world building that wasn't there before, and also, we are playing as that thing, instead of a human.
Yep.
But I think that's it.
That's it. We're done. We're Dune and dusted.
There is one thing left to do, though.
Yeah?
Yeah. Avalon, you got a cat pun?
You know, Joel, I don't have a cat pun today because I forgot.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. I'm sure we'll have a cat pun next time.